The Duke of Australia. G'day there, Tim Power here, and I was just taking a little leaf out of Meghan Markle's book right there. Can you imagine it? This is a true story. She pulls up, not on a carriage, but on a golf cart, of all things. And one of her staff, I'm not making this up, announce her as she steps out of the golf cart to meet a journalist. What is seriously wrong with this woman? You know that bit from Ab Fab where Eddie, she's flipping through all the brochures to design a new kitchen and she says, I just want people to think that I'm all of these things. Well, that is truly Meghan to a T. I just like to hang around in my jeans and my bare feet with paint under my fingernails. Oh Lord, give me strength. We're about to do a retro review of Madonna's Confessions album very soon, but talking of Meghan, I might be in the naughty books too. Do send me a voicemail about this one. Did I break some kind of social taboo? I went through a drive-through earlier today, not long ago actually. I ordered a coffee, I got to the window, I paid, and then I reached out to the young lady with my previous takeaway cup and I said, would you mind throwing this one away for me? Oh lordy, was she not happy. And as I drove away, I did think to myself, maybe I was rude. I have never done that before. Don't go through drive-thrus very often at the moment because of my schedule and the location of this place. I am going through a bit more than I usually would. But the thing is, my drink holders, you know, the bit in the middle of the car, they were full. So I just wanted to get rid of my last coffee cup and I thought it was fine to ask her to put it in the garbage for me, but oh goodness, by the look on her face, I was wrong. And I want to know what you think. Is that not okay to hand back your garbage whilst ordering at a drive-through? Okay, even as I'm saying it out loud, it wasn't garbage though, it was a clean cup, all right? It wasn't, I don't categorize it as garbage. It was just, it was a very, very clean cup. So come on, put my head in the noose, write to me or send me a voice memo at timetotalkaustralia@outlook.com, or you can find me on Instagram. A lot of you haven't found me there yet, timetotalk.show. That's how you find me on Instagram. Now have a little listen to this.
I'd say if you have money, it would be great to use it for good things and maybe give it to some people that need it. And love you all, but there's a few people in here that have a lot more money than me. And if you're a billionaire, why are you a billionaire? No hate, but yeah, give your money away, shorties. Love you guys. Thank you so much.
So at surface level, what a hypocrite, right? Billie has always struck me as, I mean, I'm a big fan, but she has struck me on a human level as one of those who demand tolerance for everyone, but seem exceedingly impatient and intolerant themselves. Wickedly dismissive and judgmental, in my opinion. She's worth $50 million, reportedly. I always wonder about those figures, but that's the estimate. We know she's rich by most people's standards, yet she stands there and she tells others to give their wealth away. Now, you know I love a good celebrity hypocrisy story, but unfortunately for me, this story isn't so simple. Billie does have a track record of giving back. There's a bit of evidence floating around that she donated about $11.5 million from her tour proceeds to her Changemaker program. I do want to look into that. The Changemaker program supports food equity, climate justice, and carbon reduction. But here's the kicker, $11.5 million, if you want to do the maths, and you know I'm terrible at maths, and I think I've said some outrageously wrong things mathematically on this show before, but I'm going to give this a go. I believe it's about 21 or 22% of her net worth, if it was around the 50 million mark. Is that math right? Let's say it was, though. That's huge. That's not hypocrisy. She's asked others to give. The difference is she hasn't asked other people to donate or pledge. Oh no, Amber Heard, donate. No, Miss Heard, donate. Not pledge, donate. I'll recalibrate. She's asked others to give away their wealth. But what's she talking about? All of it? Well, but like I say, can't accuse her of hypocrisy. She's asked others to give away their wealth, and she has given away some of hers, up to 22% of her net worth, if my mathematics is correct, and you don't want to trust that. She's collaborated with Harry Styles on sustainability initiatives. She signed a 2022 Global Citizen letter urging billionaires and governments to address poverty. So this is not the first time she's made statements like the one you just heard. And her tours emphasise eco-friendly practices. Now think of your Madonna and think of your Kylie and think of your Beyonce and think of your Taylor Swift when you listen to this. Plant-based catering. Have you been to a Billie tour? Is it true that you can go up to the stand and you get some sort of vegetarian or plant-based sausage or hot dog? Apparently she uses biodegradable confetti. And I have to admit, even I worry about the environment a lot, but I like to think I'm a bit more reasonable than some people who just think we need to just shut down the planet. But I have thought at concerts that I've been to, wow, look at those balloons. You don't see balloons too much these days, do you? But the confetti and fireworks and all this sort of stuff. So apparently she uses biodegradable confetti and reusable water bottles. That last one's not so clever, is it? Aren't all water bottles recycled? Have you ever seen a non-recycled water bottle? I don't know if they exist anymore. So it's a bit of money where your mouth is, Billie, so that's fantastic. But she's certainly getting a track record for that tut-tut attitude, hasn't she, Billie Eilish? She's been very vocal about other musicians, for example. Many speculate it was Taylor Swift that she was mainly throwing shade at when she said, last year only I think it was, she said multiple versions of the same album were akin to environmental vandalism. Never mind that she had 8 versions of Happier Than Ever in 2021. Just pretend that didn't happen. See, and that would be fine because she did that, to be fair to her, on recycled vinyl. But when she had a go at major musicians for the multiple vinyl copies, she not only went down the that's bad for the environment track, she went down the track of that's just some way to sabotage the charts to get to number 1. So, and therefore, if that's her beef, well, I mean, she's done it herself. She's 8 different versions for one of her albums. So let's get the words correct. Let's go straight to the source. This is what she told Billboard magazine during an interview. She was sitting with her mother and she said, this is the quote, I can't do her accent and I won't try. I can't even express to you how wasteful it is. It's some of the biggest artists in the world making fucking 40 different vinyl packages, bit of an exaggeration, Billie, although Kylie's getting close, that have a different unique thing just so you keep buying more. And then she added that it's irritating how much other artists, not her of course, other artists prioritise numbers and money. And her mother, whose name is Maggie, isn't it? Correct me if I'm wrong, my friends, I'm sure it's Maggie. She helpfully suggested that maybe there should be some sort of chart limit to how many different versions of albums you could put out. I think, yes, it's in front of me now, 4. She said, no, there should just be 4 versions, that's it. 4. Where Maggie, and, you know, that's a classic parent, isn't it? Just pluck a easy solution out of the air. I mean, look, I'm not completely against that. I think it's reasonable. But why 4? Why not limit it at 8, 10, 1, possibly? Billie a hypocrite? What do you think? Let me know in the comments. And talking about ridiculous numbers of vinyl, let's talk about Kylie just for a bit. But first, here's our new friend, Conrad, who sent us a voice memo.
Hi there, it's Conrad from Australia. I just wanted to send a quick message to say how much I absolutely love the Time to Talk podcast. It honestly feels like I'm catching up with friends who understand all the things I'm passionate about pop, be especially anything to do with Kylie Minogue and the late, great Olivia Newton-John. I've had a lifelong obsession with both of them. Their music has been the soundtrack to my life in a literal way. I often joke that my life basically lines up with Kylie's discography. My childhood was PWL Kylie. Those albums were like the first music I ever connected with. Then as I moved into my teenage years, she shifted into her deconstruction era, which matched perfectly with me figuring myself out and exploring new things. And then my early adult and party years was Light Years, Fever, Body Language. That whole era was my life. Light Years is still, to me, her best album, and I will have no one change my mind about that. Of course, Olivia Newton-John has always been a constant comfort. Her warmth, her voice, and her spirit has meant so much to me ever since I was a baby. And Mum would tell her her first Mother's Day gift was the Best Of by Olivia Newton-John. I think it was the second volume. Apparently, I lost my shit when I saw a lifestyle size cut out pop-up of Olivia as Dad was pushing the pram past a Brushes. Yes, that's how long ago it was. So I just wanted to say thank you for creating a space where all of this is celebrated. Your podcast gives me a lot of joy. I love listening to it, and it's amazing to hear from other fans who also get it as well. So keep doing what you do. It really does make other people's day.
G'day, Conrad. It's absolutely lovely to hear from you. What do they say? Long-time listener, first-time caller? That's you. Thank you very much. Brashes. Yes, that did bring back some memories. Bondi Junction Brashes for me in Sydney, hidden in a little corner. Oh, the memories, going in there, flicking through all the... Look, straight to K, straight to M, because some record stores would put Kylie under K and some would put her under M for M. You could tell the ones that put her under K that whoever did it was a true Kylie fan because they just knew her as Kylie. And it also made the hunt a little bit more interesting. Glad to know you're listening though, Conrad. Now, Santa Baby is back on Kylie's charts. It's at number 5 on Spotify. If you don't know, this happens every year. Santa Baby rushes up. My theory is that it's not that it's a popular song. I know this is controversial. I don't think it's a particularly popular song, but I just think that in playlists around the world for maybe department stores or all those places that use playlists at this time of year, I think Santa Baby just gets added. And get this, Santa Baby has been streamed more times than Padam Padam. I know it's been around a lot longer, but it's a true story. It still outstreams Padam Padam at this point in her career. And it will climb up to at least number 3, in my opinion, on her personal chart in the next week or so. Now, many of you have written to me very confused about Kylie's new Christmas song, XMAS. There's no other lyrics than those XMAS. I'll say it again because there's no verse. XMAS. Nope. It's not on Spotify, folks. You can't find XMAS on Spotify. In fact, you will only find it on Amazon Music. It's a special release. I don't know why. She's probably getting paid a fortune for it. Well done, her. But the good news, the newly repackaged album, Kylie Unwrapped. Kylie Unwrapped. That's not it, is it? Kylie Unwrapped. It's not Kylie Unwrapped. Rewrapped? No, that would seem cheap. It's got to be... I think it's still called Kylie Christmas. Oh my god, I can't remember what it's called. Fully Wrapped, isn't it? Fully Wrapped? That wouldn't make sense either. Kylie Christmas Fully Wrapped. Yes, Kylie Christmas Fully Wrapped. I think that would make sense. Kylie Unwrapped, right? There's some wishful thinking. There's still 10 days to go before it's released. I reckon she's releasing it too late. What do you think? December 5? Really? But the new songs are Hot in December, This Time of Year, and Office Party. So there's sort of 3 new songs. There's 4 new songs hanging around. XMAS is not on the album. It's all very confusing, isn't it? So there's 3 new songs on the album. There's a little preview of Hot in December floating around too. It sounds good to me. Interesting fact, by the way, every day's like Christmas. Have you noticed? You know that fantastic, great original Kylie Christmas song? It's not on the Unwrapped. Possible? She wants to scrub that from the catalogue because of that absolute balding dickhead that she once dated and who was in that video? Maybe. Okay, folks, the Confessions Retro Review is on its way, but first, thank you, John, regular listener John, lovely man John, guitar playing John, for sending this voice memo into me. I really enjoyed listening to this. Kylie helped you get through a visit to the dentist. Well, why not?
Well, hello there, good morning or good evening, whatever it may be. This is Johnny O, aka John Ortiz, and I had quite a particular experience with concerning Kylie Minogue, and so after it happened, I thought I would share it with my favorite podcaster, Mr. Tim Power. And anyways, and I go to the dentist office, and I'm telling them I'm a wuss and that, I have a sensitive mouth and those devices shouldn't belong in a person's mouth. And so anyways, we get started, and the assistant to the dentist kind of says, "Hey, would you like to listen to your music?" Because she noticed my big headphones that were sitting on the shelf. Listen to music while we're doing the work. And I was like, "Oh, yeah." So immediately I put on Kylie Minogue's Tension Tour, the new album, and immaculately, there was no pain, and by the time I got to the song Say Something, they were done. And remarkably, no pain. I actually enjoyed myself because, as we know, her music is so impressive and pure and beautiful and all those good things. So anyways, basically she saved me. She saved my life that day. And that's pretty much all I got to tell you. And I hope you enjoy your day and have a great time and whatever you do. Okay, bye-bye.
Are you ready to jump? Get ready to jump. It's time to confess, my friends. Confessions on a dance floor. One of the mega moments of Madonna's career. Applause, acclaim, and world records. This album earned it all. Having purged her fury about American life, Madonna wanted to project happiness and abandon. And what better way to do that than to portal back in time to the disco era, referencing such greats as ABBA, the Bee Gees, Giorgio Moroder, and Madonna. That's right, she references herself on this album, which fans love. We go crazy for that. It claims to be a disco album, but Confessions is probably equally pop and club infused. Either way, it's a diamond. A record built like a brilliant DJ set, progressing from lightness to a deep intensity as the night evolves. Confessions even set the template for Dua Lipa's future nostalgia. We have a panel of sinners tonight. David, Megs, Rocco, Simon and Lily. It's time to confess, my friends, and we're going to start with the man who loves Madonna so much that he's paused his end of high school exams to be with us. Welcome, Megs.
Hey, thanks for having me.
How is Madonna helping you through your HSC?
Well, just with the music, I get to... Actually, a couple of nights ago, I turned on some Madonna music and, got down to that. So that was great. And it's a really good release in these stressful times.
And tell me this, do they teach the erotica era in modern history these days?
They used to, but it's been taken off the syllabus.
Oh, that's outrageous.
Yeah.
That's outrageous.
Yeah.
They're not replacing it with Madam X. It's too soon, isn't it?
No, they think it's not worthy of being in the syllabus, unfortunately.
Well, you're from Australia. You're 17 years old. What are you confessing to the group today?
Well, I hadn't heard the entire Confessions album, and I had to listen to some of the songs last night so I could catch up. Dear. But I have really listened to them thoroughly now, and I know what I think about them.
But that is a shameful confession. Thank you for being so open with us.
That's all right.
Yes. Welcome, Lily. Do you have something to confess?
I do, and unfortunately, I have to announce that I am not naturally blonde. This is from a box.
Really? I'm shocked. I've never seen you before, but I'm shocked.
I can promise you this blonde is not natural, and it's something I am very ashamed of.
Well, it's good to get it out and tell people,
It is. Do you feel better, Lily?
I know. I do. You know what? They say that opening up to people is the best first step, and I have to agree.
Lovely to have you on board for this confessional, Lily. David, do you have something to confess?
Hello. Mine's actually a little generic. I kind of have to confess that when I get out of the shower and blow dry my hair, I sing into the hairdryer. So, and do my little concert thing in the mirror.
David, the real confession there is that you blow dry your hair.
I have longer hair, so
Beautiful. Great having you on board. Rocco,
thank you.
what's your confession?
So, my confession is if it were not for this album, I don't know how I would have survived high school.
Wow. This album got you through high school?
Yeah, it really did. I'm from Queens, New York originally, and so when this album came out, I was 15 years old and I was in Pennsylvania and I was completely miserable. I hated it. I wanted to go back to New York. I didn't relate to anybody around me, and I felt very isolated and just very different from everybody else. And this album, songs like I Love New York, especially, Like It or Not, Jump, those really got me through that period of my life.
It is incredible how many times I hear that a Madonna album, Madonna's work, got somebody through a particular part of their life. It is amazing.
Power of music, yeah, definitely.
Absolutely. Good on you, Rocco. Thanks for confessing that. And a newbie, Simon, who's reached out to us via YouTube with a simple but positive message asking if he could join us on one of these podcasts, especially confessions. By the way, Simon, before you confess to us and introduce yourself to the world, thank you to all those people who have been like that Simpsons moment. Can we go to Mount Splashmore? 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 Yes, I'm doing confessions. I'm doing it. I'm doing it. I'm doing it. Oh, my God. It's been from the beginning. Nobody wanted to hear about Madam X. Nobody wanted to hear about, hard candy. It was, when are you doing confessions? When are you doing confessions? When are you doing confessions? Seriously, I sleep sometimes and wake up, my eyes just come alive in the middle of the night and I just hear the echo of people going, when are you doing confessions? When are you doing confessions? It's a horrible, horrible thing. And Simon, not to start off on a negative note, but you may have been one of those. Welcome to the show.
Hi, thanks. So my confession is that I don't love this album.
Oh dear. I don't know. So David, Lily, Rocco, Megs,
Yeah.
does Simon stay or does he go?
He can stay. I want to hear what he has to say.
He can stick around. Everyone's entitled to their opinion.
I want to see where this goes.
No comment
All
from
right.
me.
Kick us off, my friends. What do we make of Confessions? Where does it sit in Madonna's landscape? What type of album is this? How would we describe it generally? I mean, because this is a defining moment in Madonna's career.
To me, this was her last real masterpiece of an album. I mean, this was for sure her last major blockbuster album, commercially speaking. But to me, it was there's a finality to this era, like the end of a particular chapter of her career for me, and it's kind of bittersweet. I don't know, as much as I love albums like Rebel Heart and Madam X, this is one of those albums that, in terms of the creative spirit that it has, she's never quite been able to top for me.
Oh, come on, David. You've been around since the beginning of time with Madonna. Is it true that this was the last great Madonna album? She's released a lot of material since then.
No, I think Madam X was her last great masterpiece. I think I had said in our last podcast that years on, people will embrace Madam X more. And I think Rebel Heart was fantastic. MDNA, masterpiece. I don't know if I would call it a masterpiece. I would call it back to her roots, dancing, and what Madonna does best, dance music.
And David, how much do you love this album?
Very much. This was at the peak of my club years, so it was an exciting time.
That suggests there's been a decline in your club years since.
I don't club like I used to, Tim. I'm a little older now. So.
Let's not go down the age route. I got the sense that wasn't an area that you wanted to explore. Lily, tell us about Confessions on a Dance Floor.
No, I would say I love this album a lot. I think it's really fun. I love the nonstop mix situation. I think some of the transitions are the best I've heard, period.
I got to say, Simon, this idea of having the like a DJ set, like I said in the intro, Stuart Price, he produced this album. I think he might have been the executive producer. Certainly, you can hear you can hear Stewart's influence throughout this album. The no gaps thing, Janet had done it before. Oh dear! Don't shout me down, people listening. But Janet had done it before. Velvet Rope, okay.
Yeah.
But what did you make of it, Simon? What's Confessions on a Dance Floor mean to you?
I kind of agree that I think it's her last masterpiece in the sense that it's the last time she understood editing. This album is perfectly edited, and I think everything that she'd done up until this point was perfectly crafted, and nothing was left in that shouldn't have been. And I think every album that she's released since, there's been a perfect album in there somewhere, but this was the last time she really understood or let somebody else help her with the editing of where that perfect album was. Like, I think it's perfectly crafted. It's just that I preferred American Life. I kind of feel the same way about this as I did about Ray of Light, which is that people called it a comeback, and I didn't think she had anything to come back from.
Well, I think something that made this album really strong was how strong the era was as a whole. Like her look, the tour, the album itself, everything.
Stunning.
Yeah, and everything is so recognizable.
To me, it is a fantastic progression. It is like a DJ set. Anyone who knows what a DJ set's all about, this is your classic DJ set. It takes you on a journey. It starts off with that light and pop, and you're going to have a fantastic time. Then it gets really quite intense. The only thing I get upset about Confessions is the fact that it didn't round back to light towards the end. I would have liked to have seen a continuation. The last couple of tracks, maybe brand new tracks we've never heard before, who knows, but some lightness towards the end, because usually by the end of the morning when you're in a club, you've returned to the light and the frivolous again. The sun is back.
Yeah, like I totally agree with that. I think that's why it's called Confessions on a Dance Floor, because, you know, she's dancing, she's having fun in the beginning of the album, but then eventually she starts being more personal with the lyrics and sort of merging into that sort of arena. And I do think that this was a comeback album as well, because American Life did receive some very critical and angry reception, like sort of as a diatribe of American culture, is how it was seen by a lot of people. And so I think that this was a great one, not as an apology album, but as a return to what people really, really like about Madonna. Although, you know, she gets political sometimes and, well, a lot, and that's a good thing.
But American Life didn't sell well. So Simon's point about this not being a comeback album, I suppose it depends on your perspective. If you thought that American Life didn't live up to expectations or not. But, you know, if you're going to look commercially, and she is a commercial artist, then you have to acknowledge that American Life was quite low in her discography in terms of sales.
It's still got to number one in most countries, though.
Yeah, but all Madonna albums will get to number one based on the fan base. Overall sales are what you've got to look at. And overall sales for American Life were quite tragic for that period of her career. They'd probably be okay now.
Yeah.
But 17 years later, it is very well respected, that album. And
is it though, David? People often throw this up, but people have learnt to love it in hindsight and all this sort of stuff. People throw that around? Madonna fans throw that around very easily. What's the evidence that American Life is all of a sudden a revered piece of work?
I just think that it was a whole new Madonna. Madonna's core is pop. It's the first time she dabbled in folk with music. When American Life came out, her and Mirwais and Stuart Price, I think that I consider a masterpiece. I don't consider Confessions a masterpiece just because it's more of a true pop album and it doesn't have the depth that American Life had. That's my opinion.
Oh, see, now you've outraged me now, because there's poor old Kylie and Madonna. They get this all the time, that their work is frivolous and disposable and frothy and poppy. Well, actually, there is a depth to making a huge chunk of the population happy. There is a depth and a substance to giving joy to people's lives. There is something incredibly ethereal about making people want to get up off their chair and get onto a dance floor and feel joyous and euphoric. There is depth in Confessions on a Dance Floor. There is depth in Light Years. There is depth in...
Oh, don't say there's depth in Light Years.
You take that back, Simon.
Oh my God. This is becoming...
Okay, Light Years is my favorite Kylie album. There's a little bit of depth in there. A little bit. but it's more campy than anything. You can't put campy and depth together.
Don't say anything.
It's not me.
Maybe
No,
we should move on.
I have nice things to say. It's just I happen to agree that I think American Life is a better album than Confessions is. Is that saying Confessions is bad? No. But I definitely think American Life is a better piece of work.
I think American Life would have been a much better album if Stuart Price had produced it. I think the versions of I'm So Stupid and Nobody Knows Me and things like that he did for Reinvention would have elevated the album had they been on the album.
I do think, especially from hearing the stories about writing American Life, Mirwais and him being more political of a person helped push the album and where it was going. But anyway, we're talking about Confessions.
However, interesting, Lily, to note that Mirwais and Madonna started the project of Confessions together, and Madonna did scrap that quite openly, talks about the fact that she scrapped the direction they were heading in because just by being two intellectuals in the same room together during the writing process, it wasn't on task. They kept having new tracks infused with a bit of political and a bit of anger and a bit of resentment, and it was not where she wanted to head. Lily, I'm curious, you've got some statistics for us, don't you? How did Confessions do around the world? I'm seeing these
statistics.
They're great statistics, but it bothers me because I keep seeing she was in like the biggest album of the decade and Guinness Book of Records. But Lily, give us the lowdown.
Well, I mean, if you look at it, the lowest charting position it had was at number 5 in Japan, which is insane to think that being the lowest. It was number 1 in most countries.
Oh, well, Hung Up. I mean, the lead-off single was huge. I think it's one of her best-selling singles of all time.
And it got many views on YouTube. It got 266 million views on YouTube, which is really, really good. Yeah.
Yeah, that's better than Vogue.
Let's talk about the opening single, Hung Up. I remember hearing this on the radio when it first came out, and I was like, wow. I didn't realise that she was about to sample ABBA. I didn't realise all the cleverness of this track. And so I got one of those rare moments in life where I had none of the prep, none of the media beforehand, and just was waiting for somebody, actually picking them up from a library, actually. And I was listening to the radio and they said, here's Madonna's new track. Here it comes, Hung Up. Yeah, I know, that was a bit of an insight into my life, wasn't it, David? Picking someone up from a library. Anyway, Hung Up comes on the radio and it's like, wow, I'm sure that's that ABBA track. Gimme.
Yeah.
Hung Up. What are we making of this as a lead single? I don't think we can get much better.
Well, the first time that I heard this was her website at the time. The opening of her website, there was this little intro screen that played like a few seconds of the chorus. Then there was like a radio edit version that was going around on the internet. And then when I heard the final song, the full like album version, I was completely blown away. The ABBA sample works so well, and I'm so happy that she fought for that, because she initially said that she didn't want to sample anything because it was too expensive, and she said she had to put on kind of a song and dance for the two guys in ABBA. I think she wrote him a letter, but it totally paid off. And my favorite part of that song is the beginning, the way that it starts, the intro, and the bridge, the way that it completely like comes to a complete silence, and then it starts to build up again the same way it did in the beginning. It's so it really makes the impact that much stronger, I think.
I agree that the ABBA sample makes this song, because when she performed it for the Sticky and Sweet tour, it's not as good. That ABBA sample really helps make this song incredible. I do think it was a great choice for the lead single because it's probably the most exciting song, or one of the most exciting songs on the album. I don't think it's the best though, but I do think it was a great choice for the lead single.
I kind of disagree completely. I think that it's really shoddily written. I think it's produced really nicely, but I think that the remixes are the Stuart Price extended remix is incredible. And I think if that had been the album version, I think I'd have had a much better time with the whole thing. I think the ABBA sample actually kind of detracts from the brilliant production on the rest of the song, because I think it becomes the focus. Yeah, I don't like it that much.
What did you make of the video, Simon?
I think the video is great. But so interestingly, part of the video, because obviously it's all filmed in London, part of it I'm convinced is filmed in a club in South London that used to be like a gay bear club called XXL, which isn't there anymore. But so it's in a series of arches in London Bridge, and I'm convinced, having been in there a lot, that part of the video is filmed in that venue or one of the arches in that sequence. But I think the video is great, and I think the video was what actually kind of made me enjoy the song.
This was a very, very much parodied video, which is always the ultimate compliment as well. When Madonna came out at the age that she was, in her 40s, I believe, wearing that, having the audacity to wear that. Now, of course, we've got the benefit of everything that's come afterwards, that she's never going to stop doing this. But at the time, people were quite shocked that she had the nerve to wear something like that, and she looked sensational.
Yeah, and the dancing was great. I loved the video. I loved how she started off so simply, like just her and the mirror. That's all that was necessary for
and
the
a
beginning.
boombox.
Yes, and a boom. It was just so cool.
You don't know what a boombox is, Mr.
No, I
17.
do. I do know what boomboxes are, and also it's just a love letter to the disco era. A lot of people say, and it's just amazingly done. And the way they fused ABBA's sample, I think, was just amazing.
Apparently, Benny and Bjorg, or one of them, was extremely stubborn about giving that sample over, as Rocco has said.
Yes, they don't give samples over very often.
No, they sure don't.
Only one other time.
Really well.
Only one other time, and it was to the Fugees.
On the lyrics, though, this is where she references herself, because one of my favourite tracks, which will be quite rare for Madonna fans, is the collaboration she did on Like a Prayer with Prince. Love that track. It's just so avant-garde, and I think the line is, what is the line? Time goes by so
slowly for those who wait, but those who run seem to have all the fun, I think, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah.
When I heard that, I remember, this is my library, going back to the library story, which was so fascinating the first time around. When I was listening to this in the car, I remember going, hang on a second. And it drove me nuts because she's singing it so differently to the way it's sung on the other one. By the way, those are not her lyrics either, I don't believe. I believe that the lyrics are taken from somewhere else, original, like some poetry or religious script.
She does that
originally.
throughout this, as I'll talk about later.
Yeah.
Also, I just want to point out that the video, she was still recovering from her horse riding accident while she was filming that. So she was doing all that dancing while she was in pain or on painkillers, one of the two.
Wow, yeah.
Track number 2 off the album is Get Together.
Yes, I love this song. This song has always spoken to me quite a bit. I don't know how big a fan favorite it is, but I know that I love this song. It's sort of, I think the lyrics are very inspiring and interesting and have a lot of depth. It's like she doesn't care if love at first sight is an illusion or not. She'll just engage with the experience of it anyway. And I think that's a really beautiful sentiment. And I just think, the entire song is so well made and beautiful. It speaks to my soul, man.
It speaks to your soul, man. And apparently it was selected as a single number 3, I believe, because it was the 3rd most downloaded song off the album. That's how they actually selected this as a single.
Nice, yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah.
I remember that at the GAY show, around that time when she performed the song, I think she introed it by saying, I wrote this song for you guys or something. Which I thought was kind of cool. And my favorite part of this song, I mean, the whole song is great. I have to admit, the bell sound in the beginning was kind of jarring and still kind of is. But once the song starts, it's incredible. And the best part for me is at the end of the bridge, when it's just like this big explosion of sound. And it that's what leads to the end of the song, and it fades out. To me, that's the best. It's like so euphoric and so, empowering.
Kind of what Tim said earlier about how this album has some ethereal moments. I think this song is definitely one of the most ethereal, with the ending of the song with like that piano playing, echoing. And I love the song. I think it's better than Hung Up.
Yeah, I agree.
One of the best in my opinion.
Yeah, it's definitely, I'd say, probably my second favorite song on the album. At the time, I didn't really like it that much. And then I was at the GAY show, and I think I kind of started to like it a bit more then. But all of my friends were obsessed with it, and I was like, it's all right.
Tell us about this GAY show that you're referring to, because that was part of the promotion for this album, correct?
Yeah, so she did the show at Coco, which used to be Camden Palace, which was like the first place in London she ever performed. And then they didn't even announce it. They kind of announced that this Madonna thing was happening, and the word just got out that she was performing. So I queued from like 4 a.m, I think, to buy tickets.
Because the thing that bugs me is how short the show is, and I cannot imagine standing outside or whatever for 6 hours for tickets.
And then we queued. So that was like 5 a.m, and obviously the show was like I think started at like midnight or something. So then we queued for I think 2 hours to get into the venue, and then we waited for another like hour or 2 hours for her to come on.
Was it worth it?
Ugh.
Yeah, it was incredible. It was amazing. And I really wasn't like that keen on this era at that point. So it really helped me, I think, kind of click into what she was doing. And it was the first place that I heard the Let It Will Be remix. So like, yeah, I was pleased about that.
I think those hung up performances that she did to promote that single were amazing. I can't, the choreography, the backup dancers, I think they were some of the best backup dancers she's ever had in her career. I still, usually I don't remember backup dancers. That's how I know. These ones I remember nearly all of their faces and just how freaking coordinated they were. And then, of course, we will get into, I promise people listening, we will talk about the Confessions tour, because that was just mind-blowing as well. But you were going to say?
I was going to say, does anybody... I'm reading here that there's references to Holiday and Secret, her previous songs in this song.
Is there?
But is there? Does anybody know where in the song? I didn't think so.
I don't think there are lyrically, are there? But the melody-wise...
The melody.
The melody's very similar to Holiday.
Single number 2 is Sorry, and track 3 off the album is Sorry. Who wants to talk about Sorry? This is, I don't particularly like the video clip. I find it annoying. And a bit
it doesn't do the song
boring.
justice.
I like the track, though. It's a great track.
This was the one that, so I remember the first time I heard any of the album, I think it had leaked, and I'd burnt the bits that had leaked onto a CD, obviously, as you did then. And I was going to a club in London, and I was on the tube with my mate, and we were listening to we had like a headphone in each, and we were listening to the tracks that had leaked. And this was the first one that I heard from in sort of the album where I was like, this is a banger. Like, this was to me like the first thing that I heard. I was like, yes, I'm on board. I love this song.
I'm annoyed at you, Simon, though. I'm annoyed that your story about listening with one earphone in with a friend on the tube is better than my library story.
Sorry.
Terrible.
But yeah, I love this. I also love the remixes. I think the Pet Shop Boys remix is fantastic. But this, to me, almost feels like, I feel like there's a holy trinity between Impressive Instant, Nobody Knows Me, and this. Like, I feel there's kind of like a synergy between those 3 songs.
You talk about the Holy Trinity. I also am always quite fascinated by Madonna's fascination with apologies and sorry. She references these sorts of themes many, many times throughout her career. Unapologetic bitch, I'm not sorry in Human Nature. She actually writes a song called Sorry. I think, you know, I'm getting way too deep, but given her childhood and the big family and the experiences of her life early on, I think apologies and lack of them possibly in Madonna's life is actually attitude. I think saying sorry is difficult for Madonna, and so I think that's why it keeps coming up as a theme for her.
So something I want to say about this song is I think the production, if you think about it, is super similar to Hung Up with the way it plays with like building up and stuff. But I do think this song is the best song on the album. Is it my favorite? No, but I think this song is the best song on the album.
Technically, yeah.
And it's my least favorite on the album.
Really?
I know that's very controversial, but yes, it is my least favorite.
That is very controversial.
Wow. I'm very critical of M, and this song, I hated the video. I think it's her worst video she's ever made.
What?
Haven't you ever seen Batuka?
I like the Batuka video.
What do you say about Get Together? There's not much to say, but no, I take it as it is. It's you know, it's just okay for
See,
me.
For me, I'm thinking like Sorry and Hung Up were filmed like neck and neck. So it's like, to me, they're like the same video.
It's the sequel. It's the sequel.
Yeah.
So if
That's how it was
everyone's like,
filmed.
"Oh, Hung Up is the best video," and then Sorry is a terrible video, they're literally the same video.
Yeah.
Well, there's much more Madonna
I
in
didn't
the
say it
Sorry
was.
video.
I didn't say it was the best video. I never said that.
Well, there's an interesting thing. Some people say that Madonna didn't like this song initially and that she thought it was too melodramatic and so she didn't want to do it. But then...
that's my theme. She didn't want to apologize.
Yes, that's exactly right. But then she decided that she was going to reinvigorate it and sort of spice it up, and then she released it that way. And that's why this song's so good for remixes, because she was reinventing this song from its original form.
What I like about this whole album is it feels like you're getting remixes from Woe to Go anyway. They feel like they've been remixed to me. This feels like a remix album.
She said, I always end up preferring the remix versions of my songs over the original. So with this album, she said, I just want to approach it as if we're already like creating a remix. Like let's approach it from that mindset.
Wow, okay, so we were on the money, and Stuart Price was the right man to do that. By the way, before we move on from Sorry, it's more than 10 years, and she still hasn't apologised for working with Kanye West. I mean, where's that gonna come?
Stop it.
Well, this song's...
We're not going through that again, Tim. We are not going through that again.
Okay. Track 4 is Future Lovers. Okay, now this is, like, for me, all right. Madonna, as you know, should never go in an editing suite, frankly, on her own at least. She should be there with someone expert, right?
No.
So when they made the Confessions DVD, because we didn't get to see it here in Australia, so we've only seen it on that, amazing. That concert is like quite chilling to watch in the sense of goosebumps so many times. But that opening is freaking, for me, one of the best, possibly the best opening, and that's saying something compared to Blonde Ambition. But then I've recently gone on YouTube and seen people in the audience filming the opening of the Confessions tour. And if you thought it was good on the actual product that they released, my God, it's actually even more exhilarating to watch it from the seat of something, because she comes out of that disco ball in the middle of the freaking arena and the build up to it, and not quite knowing that was where she was going to emerge from. Like, honestly, it doesn't matter which video I click on. It's just like, I wish I'd been there, because that was a freaking phenomenal opening to a tour. And therefore, Future Lovers is that pulsating beat that actually delivers that exhilaration at the beginning of this concert. What are we all making of Future Lovers?
I love the sample that she included. She samples Donna Summer's I Feel Love. And I love the fact that she goes a step further in the show, in the tour, and actually sings a little bit of I Feel Love during the performance. To me, that was a perfect, like, tip of the hat, if you will.
You know why she did that, though, don't you?
Why is that, Tim?
Because Kylie did it first on the Fever tour.
Oh, no, I'm not that familiar with Kylie, so thank you for pointing that out.
That's all right. Madonna often references Kylie. She looks to Kylie for a lot of her inspiration.
Oh, no, don't do that.
He's not wrong, though. I mean, who was the first one who did a disco throwback album?
Yeah,
okay,
that's right.
whatever.
And can I
Wait
say
a minute. Madonna's first album was disco. Thank you.
Yeah, well, look, this song, this will annoy people as well, but this song really reminds me of Kylie in so many ways. It reminds me of Light Years a lot.
Yes.
It really, really reminds me of Light Years.
Yes.
Plus, it reminds me of another Kylie song, which, to be fair, came out after this, but The One from X. It definitely reminds me of that as well.
There's a bit of that,
Yes, exactly that bit.
I hear that.
And so this song is very Kylie to me, but it was definitely perfect for an opening.
It's your classic situation. It's the dark version of a Kylie song.
Yes, it's the more dark version of a Kylie.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So something I want to point out, though, because I'm noticing this with everyone, is can anyone say anything great about the song that doesn't involve the tour?
Yeah, I think it's a really great track.
But like the tour is what made it the success it is. I'm pretty sure if she didn't perform it.
No.
Same opinions.
Yeah, fair enough.
The Future Lovers is a standout on the album because it doesn't sound like any other songs, and it's Mere Ways. Mere Ways and Madonna have this incredible connection. It's beautiful. I love when Madonna speaks on her songs. Going back to Physical Attraction. She knows how to get your attention, and she sounds so freaking sexy when she speaks
Like
in her
with Bye Bye
songs. And
Baby, yeah, she does.
yeah, well, that's I love Bye Bye Baby, but Physical Attraction and this one go hand in hand for me in terms of her best spoken word songs.
My favorite line is, "Put away your past, love will never last if you're holding on to a dream that's gone." To me, that's a perfect lyric. So,
Yeah,
again, I'm not hating on the song. I think that there are some really good things about it.
And talking about fantastic lyrics, how about when Madonna rhymes New York with dork? Now, that's brilliance. That's genius. That's the moment that, Madonna was officially sealed as a genius. In fact, the Guinness Book of Records sat up from their leather chair and cigars, and that's when they hopped up and went, I'm going to get on the old blower and find out what record Madonna's achieved this week, because they were amazed that I Love New York and Dork were in the same song. It's brilliance. I Love New York, the worst song on the album, one of the worst songs. I hate it when she picks up an electric guitar. I know
you
burning
do.
up.
We're going to fall out with this, aren't we?
I Love New York. It's just a heaving mess of sounds that makes me want to run from the room.
It's one of her worst songs ever. I don't like it at all. I think it's
my favorite song on the album.
What?
I love it too. I absolutely love it. And I love it. The concert version of this song was freaking incredible.
Yeah.
Yes.
Incredible.
Wow, the lack of taste here. Ooh.
The album version.
It was almost as good as. Well, wait. I just want to say one thing about "I Love New York" from the live album Reinvention was 150% better.
Yeah,
but
I'm going to tell you a secret. The demo version.
Correct. Yes. So much better than the from the Confessions album, but it wouldn't have worked because it had an alternative feel. A vibe.
she was writing a rock album, and the rock album never.
Yeah, right. Right. But it's unbelievable. I do like the track on the album, but the one off Reinvention is perfect. I love it. Love it.
I thought that was supposed to be for the musical she was doing.
She wrote this for the American Life album, I believe.
Right. Well,
no, she said she wrote it when she was in New York on the Reinvention tour.
Right. Yeah. And it was done in a very, again, I love the production. I love that it's got a very alternative sound.
I have to say, as a New Yorker myself, I feel like I like this song in principle. And I do like, towards the end of the song, she has like sirens and kind of, like noises to kind of make you feel like you're standing in like a busy street in New York or in Manhattan or something. I like that touch.
If she was going to have the real-time sound effects of New York, I don't know why there wasn't a mugging in the background or something like that.
Tim, listen, don't get me started on that, all right? Come on now.
Well, I mean, today.
New York is not that bad. Come live in New York and then get back to me, all right?
I love New York with a slight shivving in the background.
I love this song. It's like a silly punk thing, and like the lyrics aren't supposed to necessarily be like, prize winning.
I have to agree with Tim and Megs on this one. This song it's the second worst song on the album in my opinion. It's the lyrics really aren't good, and then the only part I like is the "get off of my street" thing. That's the only thing I like, where it kind of breaks down.
Yeah, Tim, if you can't stand the heat, get off of my street. Okay.
Fair enough. Fair call. This is clearly a divisive song and brings out a lot of emotion, particularly in Rocco. Yeah. But there you go. Okay, track 6 on the album is Let It Will Be.
The remix is better.
Yeah.
Yes. Thank you.
And then the concert version is even better because it has both bits. It has bits of both in it.
I like the album version. I like the violin intro, and I do like when the beat drops. That's great. So I do like the album version. But when I heard the Paper Phases vocal mix, I think is what it's called, it totally elevated it for me. And the performance is just incredible. I mean, the fact that she can put that much energy into a performance without backup dancers, without anyone, it's just her throwing herself around on stage. It was epic. I loved it. I love the album, but I also love the remixes too. And this was the first album where I was so into the remixes like in real time. Normally it was usually with albums from like years past that I, didn't live through or whatever, but this was just so perfect in that way. And the fact that she incorporated so much of it into the tour as well, I thought was great.
I have the bonus, like not the Gaio Siri book, but I have the deluxe edition book with like Fighting Spirit.
Yeah, me too.
Oh, okay. I've got the Fighting Spirit of Super Pop bone. Like it's I have an LP in my closet. I should take a picture for you guys and show it. But it's pretty great. I just it's you buy things, you put them away, and then you forget. I mean, I got 2 sex books that are not even opened in storage. And
David, don't you have 2 versions of a sex book? One which is pretty pristine, and the other one where the pages are slightly stuck together.
No, stop it! What are you talking about? Please. Yes, I have a pristine one, and I have one that was. Yeah, I was old enough to buy sex. That's how old I am. Hello. Anyway.
All right, track number 7, Forbidden Love.
I love the song. The melody is gorgeous. I love the lyrics. To me, this is a perfect song. I have no problems with it. And I love the performance of it in the tour. I love the little message that she threw in, the little political message with the 2 dancers. I think one has the Star of David on his chest, and the other one has I can't remember.
The Islamic moon.
Yeah, right.
The Islamic moon.
Very Kraftwerk, and I'm sure Tim knows who Kraftwerk is. Sound.
I think they make peanut butter, don't they?
Anyway.
When the track list was first announced and she was going to have a song called Forbidden Love, I remember thinking, oh, wow, that's interesting, because on Bedtime Stories, there's another song called Forbidden Love, and I was wondering what this someone would sound like and how different they would be and stuff. And actually, in the TRL interview she did, which was like the first bit of promo I saw her do for this album, there was a little bit in there where she said, rejection is the greatest aphrodisiac, which is a line that she recites in the original Forbidden Love from Bedtime Stories. And she made some offhanded comment. She said afterwards, she was like, oh, someone once said that in a song. So we talk about her referencing herself. She, I think probably referenced herself again.
Let's talk about track 8, Jump. This is the one that always reminds me of The Devil Wears Prada.
Wait, just by association or because of the actual?
Look, I loved this track from the moment I first heard it on Confessions. It's, for me, it's just so cool and so stand out. And the video clip I really enjoy as well. It's so in theme with Hung Up and the other videos as well. So, but then it comes on. It's one of 2 Madonna songs in Devil Wears Prada. Actually, Vogue features as well. Oh yeah. But this is like, I don't know. It was whoever did the sound for Devil Wears Prada couldn't have selected a better song for the landscape of New York City, I think it is, and they have this on, and it just segues nicely into the character's story. It's excellent. But this is a fantastic song. It also reminds me of a Miley Cyrus song that came on the Bangers album years later.
Which one?
I'll have to remember it. I'll look it up while you guys are talking. But just the opening beats, like it's just like I can't separate them. Yeah. But Jump, what are we making of Jump?
Like I said, this is my favorite song on the album because I love the message. I think the message doesn't come across as cheesy like it does on other songs, in my opinion. And I love the production. And I love the ending, especially on the tour version or the extended remix, how it has the vocoder echoed, "Are you ready?" That first time I heard it, goosebumps all over my arms.
Okay. This is a very special track for me because when I saw this in concert, this concert was insane. I didn't get the wink like in Sticky and Sweet, but you guys remember that?
Yeah, I do. I remember.
But every single hair on my body stood up when she performed this song. The gentlemen were doing parkour, which I think is so freaking cool. These guys were so built and masculine and running all over the stage like insanity, and her vocals were on point. And it again, that's why I love Madonna, because she just owned the stage. It was such a fantastic track. the best song by or a performance on the tour by far. I mean, it was just blown away.
I remember watching this as a little boy, the performance with all the parkour going on.
You are a little boy.
Well, you know what I mean. And I loved that too. Like I loved the staging and how they were jumping about and doing cool flips and things. And it reminded
you
me
should have seen it in person, Megs. Megs in person, it was insane.
Yeah, I would have loved it. But it reminds me a bit of music when she performs music on stage. She had all the dancers doing cool flips and things like that. It reminds me of that very much too.
Mm.
Yeah, I just love it. Yeah, and in the video clip, I really like her hair. By the way, it's nice short sort of.
And for Japanese, there's a bit of a Japanese vibe happening through this video clip as well.
Definitely.
Some Japanese manga art reference. It was On My Own, Miley Cyrus. If anyone wants to go and compare and wonder if Tim's hearing things.
No, I agree with you. I know.
And looking at you for no particular reason.
Well,
there's all this the thumping beat at the beginning. Yeah.
Yes.
And by the way, I know they're similar because I can listen to On My Own and I can do the jump chorus in time.
That's how you test it. That's how
I test it. That's right. Yeah, we do exciting things here. We hang out at libraries and we test Miley Cyrus songs against Madonna music.
I love the lyrics and I love what it's saying. I feel like she is one of those people who, when she does a song like this, like a motivational, inspirational kind of you can achieve your dreams kind of song, you believe her because she actually did that. She actually struggled and she actually lived through that herself. She went to New York on her own and, really fought to find a place of her own, like she says in the song. So you feel like she's someone who you can actually listen to who's saying these things. And I also it's not just the message, but it's the way that she conveys them lyrically. And I would be interested to know how much of the lyrics she wrote and how much were written by her brother-in-law, Joe Henry.
Yeah, I was going to bring that up.
Yeah, because he's one of the co-writers. And if you listen to Don't Tell Me from the music album, if you listen to his original song, which is called Stop, lyrically, it's pretty much all his lyrics. So I would be more interested, and I'm not doubting Madonna as a lyricist. She's great, but I'm curious about going more into the specifics, finding out more of the details of the creative process behind this particular track.
Poor old Joe Henry. He writes these ultra-masculine country sitting on a hay bale songs, and then Madonna comes along with her crew and she takes them and makes them the most homosexual music that you could possibly imagine. I'm often curious to know what on
She's a visionary.
OMG. Well, Guilty by Association, which is a masterpiece by Mr. Henry, and she does the guest vocal. You guys all have to revisit that song because it's his song. She just and another spoken word song that I love of hers. So
let's talk about track 9. How High?
I'm just wondering why it's not a standout for me for that particular reason, because she already talked about this and expressed this idea on American Life. I feel like the reason she probably included it on this album is because she wanted people to hear that message, and maybe she felt like since American Life commercially didn't do as well, she could kind of slip it in there.
I love this song. I do think that she kind of condensed the whole message of the entire American Life album into one song. Well, into two songs really, but into one song for this. But it's Bloodshine Avant, who I really, really like. And yeah, I just think it's really well produced. I think it's a really great song. I think it's got really great lyrics. It's probably, I think, some of the best lyrics on the entire album.
But the lyrics definitely have some sort of amazing meaning. Like, to me, when I was reading them, I got a bit sad. Like, they're a bit nihilistic. She was sort of saying, does this really matter? Will it matter when I'm gone, sort of thing? And I was like, that's a bit sad that she's thinking that way. But, I guess she's just being contemplative. And, yeah.
That's probably why I like it. It's probably because it's the most miserable song on the album. That's probably why I think it's great.
And Simon being British, after all. I mean,
yeah, exactly.
I think my critique of Forbidden Love kind of holds true to this one as well, where I feel like it's another transition song where it's not strong enough to hold its own place.
See, I think that about the next song.
What?
Yeah, I think that, to me, that's the transitional song, but we'll get there.
Well,
Yeah,
let's
we'll get
let's move forward, Simon. Continue with at track 10, which is Isaac, where she's offended a whole bunch of rabbis, apparently.
Yeah, that was silly. No, yeah, to me, this is like the transitional, like kind of nice interlude in a concert.
We are talking about Isaac, aren't we?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I totally disagree. I think this song's very powerful in what it's trying to do, and it's got all these. It's very religious, the lyrics themselves, and then that's driven home by the fact that whatever the man's saying, Imanina Lo or whatever, it's referencing this poem by a rabbi that another lady artist, Ofra Haza, also sung. And so I think it's got a lot of sort of deep connections. But one thing I did read was that she had to be careful about it because 9/11 had happened recently, sort of recently. And so doing Middle Eastern influences may have been a little bit...
And it did. It caused a problem. There were a bunch of rabbis who put in formal protests about it. And her response was, well, they haven't even heard it. And it's not referencing this man called Isaac.
Yeah, they thought it was a reference to like a religious reference, when actually it was just that the guy that was singing it, his name in kind of Western society was the Isaac.
Yeah, right. But yeah, I think this song's really good. I think musically it's amazing, and then lyrically it's good as well.
It's boring.
No, I disagree.
It's fine. It's not. I don't think. I would like to point out that I don't think anything on this album is bad. It's not my favorite album of hers, and I have issues with it. It's still a perfect album, and every track on it is incredible. But I just think this is a bit dull.
Again, I'm sorry I'm referencing Confessions Tour with all these songs, but I mean, this song live was unreal. It was so good. And when I first heard this, when I took it home to listen to the CD, I'm like, I don't know about this one. But then it really grew on me. And when I saw it live, again, spellbinding.
Go, Lily.
I love this song. I think it's a masterpiece. I would say that probably only about this song just because of how different it is. And I love the performance. I love the production. I love the influences it has. That's just my take.
A lot of critics did not like this song. A lot of critics didn't like it.
Let's talk about track 11, Push.
This is the Spanish lesson of the album. I hate this song so much.
Really?
This is my second favorite song on the album.
Yeah, it's probably like my third
gosh.
favorite.
What is with all of you and the lack of taste?
That is blasphemy.
No, it's not.
Everything else, segues, I can never say that word.
Segue.
Segue. This one stands alone. It is like, I love the beat. I love the message, you know.
It's very happy. It's a very happy, joyful song. I love the music. A lot of people were comparing it to like a prayer in terms of the music. And I love that reference, the connection they have together. And I love the message. She said that she wrote the song about a lot of people in her life that she says really pushed her to be better, to reach for her dreams. One of the people she mentions was Christopher Flynn, her dance teacher from Michigan, who encouraged her to move to New York. So it has a personal connection. And I love the message and I love the melody. It's one of those songs that just puts me in a great mood, and I love it.
Well, you know what? The way you feel about this song, Rocco, is how I feel. Like how you were defending I Love New York. No, I don't like this song. It's so bad. It's so cheesy.
Oh,
yeah. It's just repetitive. It doesn't go anywhere. I feel like you listen to the first verse and chorus and it's sort of okay, but you want it to do something more with the next bit, but it doesn't. I just want to not talk about it anymore.
I don't think it's cheesy. Madonna, I feel like it could be cheesy given the concept of what it's saying, but I think that Madonna expressed it in a way that took all the cheese out of it.
I think it's less cheesy than Jump. I think Jump's
Jump
cheesy.
is not cheesy at all.
As we move into the final track of the album, Push, leave a comment. Is it all cheese or is it cheeseless? I mean, that is the question of the day. Track 12, like it or not.
This is Madonna's FU moment, saying, I've been a star now for 22 years, and it's like, take me, leave me, turn me off. I'm gonna still entertain. I'm gonna get older. I'm still gonna push buttons. Who can? And again, another amazing performance on the tour. Love it.
This was that song for me in high school. I listened to the song so many times and it just gave me all the life that I needed. Like the lyrics, there were so many times in my life where Madonna's music was literally the only music I could listen to make me feel better, whether it was getting bullied at school or just feeling different in general. And this was that song for me during that time that I could always go to that just made me feel empowered, And this
What
is
about Rocco? What about I'm Going Bananas? You could have turned to that one.
that's not a very empowering song. When you want to feel better about yourself, you don't
color.
really
I'm messing with you. I'm just joking around.
Well, touche.
I reckon this has sort of a connection with Let It Will Be lyrically, because Let It Will Be sort of like this won't last forever, this fame like that I've had for all these years. But then this one's sort of like, well, in spite of that, I'm just going to keep going. I'm going to keep being Madonna, which is what she's sort of doing today, or at least trying to do. And so I think I think this song sort of foreshadows what she goes on to do with the rest of her career.
And this was the era, to be honest, where that the volume to that criticism of Madonna started escalating around.
Yes.
Well, when are you going to give this? How long are you going to be doing pop music for? I remember her on Parkinson during this era. He's a well-respected British interviewer. He asked her the question, how long are you going to be doing this? And, she's, as long as I want, sort of thing. And it was, the theme began from there, and it hasn't stopped, has it, since? Like, how long are you going to do this for?
That's right. Like it or not, I'm going to keep going.
And like you say, this is her answer. This track is the answer to that question.
Mm-hmm.
So that's our track by track. I just want to read out some reviews. I mean, generally, this was critically received really well, this album, the Confessions album. Rolling Stone, they wrote review. I always love Rolling Stone reviews because their mastery of the English language is beyond. This is an album designed for maximum volume. It's all motion, action, speed. The tracks are constantly shifting with dizzying layers of sounds and samples dropping in and out, skittering and whooshing across the speakers. Unlike the crystalline precision of latter-day Madonna discs like Ray of Light and Music, the sonic signature here is a powerhouse density. On tunes like Future Lovers and Push, it's damn near psychedelic.
I know NME wrote a review of it that I think, which obviously in the UK is like a really like, I'd say at the time was quite a pretentious indie newspaper, and they wrote a review of it saying that in a society that was entirely driven by guitar music, to release a disco album was like probably the most punk thing you could do. And I was really glad that people were back on her again. But so my issue with it has always been that, and I have the same issue with Light Years, is that I loved Impossible Princess. And then everyone went, no, Kylie's not doing pop music anymore. She has to go back and do pop music. And then she did Light Years, and everyone was like, Kylie's back. And it was the same with Madonna. It was like, it's not her best work. It's just that it was more palatable for what people wanted it to be. And
that doesn't mean it's bad, though.
No,
like, just because something's more palatable doesn't mean it's like
it. I have an issue with like pandering, and I feel like it was like it wasn't necessarily a bold artistic move. It was just like pandering to the sections of society that she felt that she'd stopped reaching with her music.
I disagree. I disagree. I feel like what she did was she was smart in that she figured out a way to get her message across in a way that other people would embrace and would listen. I think she did the same thing with Bedtime Stories after the erotica era. She made another album that was expressing similar sentiments. She just expressed them in a different way. And I feel like that's what she did.
Erotica is a much better album than Bedtime Stories. Whoa.
I agree. I'm just saying that, with this.
I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
Yes.
I feel like with How High, it's the same kind of, when you really listen to the album, you're getting the same message. And so I don't feel like it's pandering. I feel like it's her. And at the time, at least in America, I can't speak for the rest of the world, dance music wasn't really huge. I mean, people often credit Britney Spears' Blackout album with bringing dance pop back to pop music in the late 2000s, early 2010s. But I think it was this album that really set that trend again.
Her star faded quite a bit after, because she made a very artsy album that a lot of people were like, whoa, where is she going? She had to get back on a commercial thing. That's why she did what she did.
Yeah.
And she did it
the dance music thing's always been like bigger over here than in the States, I think. So to me, it wasn't, she'd worked with a British producer and she'd worked with kind of European writers, and it was very much a European album, I suppose, to an extent. So to me, it wasn't necessarily groundbreaking, whereas I felt American Life was. And this was just kind of
agree 150%. Agree. Yes.
Yeah, can I just say, I think this is like a good album from Madonna in terms of like you need to listen to it in order. You can't just shuffle this album because it ruins it. Like you need to listen to it as it was intended. And yeah, it's like been described as a dance pop odyssey, and went straight to number one on everywhere except Mars sort of thing. And it's like it was really, really successful and a smash hit. And yeah, I think it's really good work.
But that's the genius of it to me, is if you listen to it as a solid piece of work rather than these songs individually. And I think that's my issue. When we went through the songs individually and I'm like, yeah, I don't like this song. Yeah, I don't like this song. When you listen to the whole thing all the way through and the way it's mixed and everything, it's incredible. And it's a really interesting, innovative piece of work. But the problem is that when you take the tracks individually, things like Hung Up and, that I'm not that keen on, just kind of are shown up as being a bit lackluster and a bit kind of try hard to me.
I've got to say, Lily, a lot of people say that Madonna needs to return with Confessions number 2.
Honestly, in my opinion, no, because I don't think she could do better. And I think coming back to do something not as good would just hurt her.
A lot of people say that Madame X is very similar to American Life. So we will get a complete 180 with Madonna's next album. She's going to, I'm sure she's been thinking about it in COVID times. She's doing a lot. I love that. It was just her birthday and I was watching her little snippets on Instagram, celebrating her birthday, and they were like passing around weed and she's like, I've got to watch my vocal cords, I'm like, okay, cool. She's taking care of her voice. Yes. All right, Madonna. I love it.
And she does blonde albums and brunette albums. And when she's got something to say, she has dark hair. And when she hasn't, she has blonde hair. And this was a blonde hair album.
Oh,
what was Madame X was every hair color.
Yeah, but the artwork was dark. And the kind of
the other image of her with the braid, she's blonde.
Yeah, but
the main one, yeah, where she looks like Frida Kahlo,
yeah, and the image for the tour and everything was all dark haired, and sometimes she'll lead with a lead single where she's got dark hair, like Ray of Light. Like
she's gonna do a 180. She's gonna do a 180 for her next album. I know it.
We can't go without talking about the tour, Lily.
I think this is the best tour ever done, period, point blank.
This tour and the Girly Show I would say Girly Show is my number 1 favorite tour, but the Confessions tour is a high second.
Rocco, I'm very impressed with you. Wow. That makes me happy.
Why? Because the Girly Show?
Yes.
Yeah.
That tour probably is my favorite.
I love it. I love the Sydney show that they did for the DVD.
Yeah.
She seemed genuinely happy throughout that tour. When
she wasn't that happy because the world was turning against her.
I know. I mean, during the show.
No, it was a phenomenal show.
It was a very uplifting show, I thought.
And the fact, I'm so glad we're talking about the tour. The costumes for Erotica and Lucky Star, I don't know, but those were based off Agneta and Frida's costumes from the ABBA tour, which I thought was amazing.
Yeah. And that version of Erotica is so beautiful.
Phenomenal. Phenomenal.
I heard the studio version, I think, first before I even heard the live version, and it gave me goosebumps. Like that, it is so beautiful, and I'm speechless. I can't. That's such a highlight in her career.
Yeah, and the best Ray of Light live version ever.
Did she do the same thing though on Sticky and Sweet? Was that just a recycled?
No. Completely different.
Yeah, it was.
Completely. Sticky and Sweet and Confessions are night and day in terms of tour.
Well, the Ray of Light performance is identical.
Well, not well.
I loved the Sorry remix, the interlude.
That's what. Simon was talking about that with the Pet Shop Boys.
Fascinated to know what our listeners think. I would love it if people left their comments, left their thoughts, subscribe to the channel and all of that sort of stuff. Megs,
Yeah.
confess to us, what are you about to go and do now?
I don't know. Have a nice rest of my day and, hang out with my little sister. That'll be good.
David, confess to us, what are you about to go and do?
I'm going to do a catwalk to Push.
Whatever.
Simon, confess.
I'm going to go to bed. It's like 2:15 in the morning.
Oh, fair enough.
Oh, no. With a nice cup of tea and a bicky.
No, I've had like 6 pints, so I'm gonna go to bed and sleep.
Rocco, confess. What are you about to do?
Probably go get something to eat.
Well, that is very confessional. And Lily?
Probably just gonna do schoolwork now because school's back and everything's online. So annoying and so atrocious.
And we're going to go and find the Pet Shop Boys version of Sorry. We're going to go and find that because I'm curious now.
Oh, yeah.
I'm sure I would have heard it, but I
I'd
want
love
to go
to
and listen.
hear it. Yeah.
It's on the single.
It's pretty close to the tour version, so you'll recognize it as soon as you hear it.
I'll recognize it for sure. Thank you all so much for confessing tonight.
Thank you.
Thank you, Tim.
Thank
Good
you.
night.
Good night.
Take care.
Good night.
Bye.